Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about should the Lakers try to avoid playing Denver in the first round, and we were also discussing NBA championship contenders and pretenders that can only dream. And now we're going to be talking about CeeDee Lamb and how he was absent as the Cowboys begin the spring workout program. However, we got a comment during the break.
Okay.
Lee from YouTube said Chicago Sky dominated the draft. Stay tuned.
Nice. I see. First off, I love the fact that you watched the draft.
Mhm.
Let me look at let me see what the Sky did. Anyway, who did they get in their draft? You got me looking here, sir. Let's see. I'm just trying to see here. Anyway, the Mystics did well. The Mystics did incredibly well. The Liberty. All right. Yeah, okay. Cardoza, that's a great pickup.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of agree. You know, that's a player they took the player from South Carolina.
Mhm. Yeah,
Solid player,
he was
could
pretty good.
be one of the most impactful, maybe could be the second most impactful player in this draft.
Mhm.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, I
Chicago
agree
didn't
too.
do too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, moving on from that. So CeeDee Lamb was absent as the Cowboys began the spring workout program. So like last. Ooh.
Getting a little
Sorry.
choked up over that Chicago Sky, aren't you? I get a little misty eyed, little tear out of my eye there too when the start thinking about it. Get a
Oh
little.
gosh. So, as we were talking last week, we discussed how CeeDee Lamb is holding out for a new contract because he wants to be one of the most paid wide receivers. He's a wide receiver, right?
Yes,
Okay.
he's not holding out. You can't hold out when it's a voluntary mini camp. You
I mean, I
can't.
guess I
You're
know.
technically you're not holding out.
I'm just I'm tying it into what we were
Okay,
talking
gotcha.
about
Yes.
last week. So, so as expected, Dallas Cowboys star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is absent from the team's spring workout program, which began on Monday with an 8 a.m. meeting, according to the Dallas Morning News. The workouts and meetings at this point in the offseason are voluntary, and with Lamb currently pushing for a major contract extension, he is not expected to join in. The former first-round draft pick in the line to become one of, if not the highest paid wide receiver in the league as his rookie deals come to a wrap. He is currently set to play the 2024 season on his fifth-year option of $17.991 million. The Cowboys have done little to incentivize Lamb's participation in voluntary workouts, though they would like for him to be there. Last month at league annual meetings in Orlando, Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones opened up about the potential for holdout. He cited former first rounder Ezekiel Elliott as an example. Everybody goes about it in a different way, Jones said. We've had guys who've been around. Ezekiel Elliott was never around when he wanted a contract, so we dealt with both. We respect Zeke, but you prefer that they're around when they're under contract. It's part of the business. You don't love it, but it's part of the business. TMZ Sports recently caught up with Lamb at a CSA Sports memorabilia event in Chantilly, Virginia, and asked if Cowboy fans should expect him back on the field with the team this fall. Lamb said, "Yes, I'll be in Dallas." Lambs also said he's looking forward to winning with quarterback Dak Prescott and the rest of his teammates. For now, the Dallas Cowboys activities are voluntary. That changes when the mandatory minicamp comes around in early June. The team's spring workouts are exclusively for strength and conditioning as outlined by the CBA.
Okay. So, like I said, you can't hold out on voluntary mini camp. Can't get fired on your day off.
Yeah.
These are just certain rules in life. Okay. So, CD, he's just letting the world know, hey, I want my contract.
Mm-hmm.
The question is he doing it the right way? I say yes, he is.
Mm.
Um, I'm a Cowboys fan. I like to be open about that. But if I was an agent, I would definitely have CeeDee Lamb hold out because of the fact that there's not enough I'm worried there's not enough slices of pie to go around.
Mm-hmm.
Dak's gonna get a half a slice of pie. Like you got one whole pie, you got that one person that's going to just slice it in half and just take half of it and walk off.
Yeah.
So then Micah wants 3/4 of a slice, and CD wants 3/4 of a slice, and there's only so much pie out there.
The math is not mathin'.
Right. And so I think it's a smart move. It's obvious that CD wants to be a Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're thinking about, hey, if we have to sign Dak because of the salary cap hit that for, I think he said, 29 million, but it's like 40 something million this year and 40 something next year salary cap hit. To spread out the salary cap hit, it has to be spread out over years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in the Cowboys' best interest to sign Dak because then it makes it easier to sign CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. But if you're looking at things and you're thinking about the pecking order of who you want to draft, I mean, who you want to sign, Dak is number one, CD is two, Micah is two, CD could be third.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're sitting there as the third option, you're on the outside looking in. And that's a scary concept when you're coming off of the best year of your career. You led the league in receiving. You want to strike when the iron is hot. And so this is the time to go out and hold out and get your contract and secure your future. That's what an agent does, is to put you in the best situation to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
No one questions, does the Cowboys want to keep CeeDee Lamb? Of course they do.
Yeah.
But there is a salary cap that you're dealing with. And there's only so much money out there, and I don't know how well it's going to fit. It all comes down to Dak. Are you signing Dak this year, or are you not? It seems like there hasn't been a lot of movement with Dak. And I was watching ESPN today, and they were talking about, don't be surprised if you could see Dallas making a move on a quarterback, and it's like no. Dallas has too many other positions that they need to fill.
Well,
they need to fill the running game and defense. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
This said that the Cowboys team owner Jerry Jones called Lamb more valuable than anybody else. So there's that.
Well, okay, that's that. Like my man Jerry Jones. He's that. But no, he knows how to talk the talk.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to make CD known that the Cowboys love him and want him there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, yeah, baby, you're the only one for me. But you didn't I only have eyes for you. But your girlfriend said, he was over there talking to Becky.
Oh, Becky.
It's one of those kind of things. I think he's important, but the football math, the sports math behind it it doesn't matter if Jerry thinks he's the most important player. No team has ever gone with a horrible quarterback and a superstar wide receiver and won a Super Bowl. You have to have your quarterback. Whether you sign Dak and restructure all that dead salary cap money that's gonna hit, which is the smart thing to do, or Are you going to go out and draft a bunch of, go through the draft, fill in some of the holes, get you a running back, and play Dak this year and get ready for CeeDee Lamb next year? CeeDee Lamb is making $5 million this year. Are they looking at CeeDee Lamb as the future? I'm very curious to see, because it seems like the Cowboys are okay with taking this hit, where it's like, you know what? Dak's contract is $29 million, but it's a $40 million salary cap hit. We're going to take the $40 million salary cap hit just to kind of see where we're at. And that could be going back to the all-in statement about the Cowboys, meaning this is it's all in or bust, meaning no, we're not going to sign Dak this year. We're going to pay him under contract. We're going to take the $40 million cap hit. And if we don't win, we're going to move on from Dak. Then in that case, you sign CeeDee, you sign Micah, and after this year, you're moving forward with Dak. But Dak is the linchpin behind all of it, determining what happens. I just don't see how you can do any of it until you take care of Dak first. You have to take care of Dak because of the salary cap. You take Dak's contract, spread it out. There's room for CeeDee. There's room for Micah. But if you sign CeeDee Lamb first, Micah Parsons second, then Dak has to go. There's just not enough room out there. Or you sign Dak and Micah, or you sign Micah first, then wait till next year to sign. It's all bad. It has to be soon. It's kind of weird because there's been no talk of even negotiations really between the Cowboys and Dak. It's like everyone is content with letting Dak play this season out and seeing where things are at. And in that case, then maybe they're planning on, hey, we're not going to sign any of them this year. We're gonna go through this year. We're gonna run this year out. Dak's gonna become a free agent. Whatever Dak does, if Dak performs, gets us a Super Bowl, we're gonna give him a blockbuster contract. If not, we're gonna move forward with Trey Lance. We're gonna sign CeeDee Lamb to his big contract. We're gonna sign Micah to their big contract and move forward. That's kind of starting to sound like what they're doing, because I don't see any negotiations with Dak right now. I don't see anything where offers have been made or offers have been rejected. It's like everyone's just been content with where they're at. So what do you say? I know you've been hearing about this a lot. And so
honestly, I think they should just say sayonara to Dak Prescott.
A lot of people have that feelings about Dak, but here's the thing. Dak is a good quarterback. Make no mistake about it. He was an MVP candidate this year. Dak is at worst a top 10 quarterback, at worst. So, but he hasn't, what people say, he hasn't won the big one. But very few people actually do get a chance to win a Super Bowl. Very, very few do. Dak has been performing at a high level. I just have gone on record. I want them to sign Dak, but I just don't want them to sign Dak at 60 million, 65 million. That's the number that I have a problem with. Give Dak 50. Give him 55. But if you're going above that, then there's a lot of players that are not going to be coming back. There's going to be some key players that are going to need to be replaced. And I think, like you were just saying, and many people think that, hey, maybe it's time to turn the page on Dak. And maybe that's what they're doing. This is the last year Dak's under contract.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be traded. He can't be franchised. So you run this whole year out, but that's almost an $80 million cap hit. There's 40 million this year, and I think it's like 40 or something like that this year, or 35 and 40 or something like that. I'm just going off the top of my head, off memory here. But it's a huge salary cap hit. But you do get to change, you do get to turn the page on the Dak Prescott history, kind of like you and many others would like to see that move forward. But you better be sure that Trey Lance is your future. Trey Lance, they picked up his option. He's making $5 million a year, which is 5 times what Brock Purdy got last year.
What he's still making.
You know, but you know, Trey Lance is only 24 years old. So you have your quarterback of the future. If you're looking at Trey Lance, he's been in the Cowboy organization for a year. He got to sit behind Dak for an entire year. And now he, you know, by the time Dak's contract's up, CeeDee Lamb's going to be, not CeeDee Lamb, but Trey Lance would have sat behind Dak for 2 years and would be theoretically ready to go. You sign CeeDee Lamb, you sign Micah Parsons, and you turn the page on Dak Prescott. Because I think if Dak goes to the end of this year, Dallas will not be able to sign him, because I think there's going to be some teams that's going to put together a lot of front-loaded contracts. And what I mean by front-loaded contracts is you can carry over salary cap space. If you don't use it this year, you can use it next year.
Mm-hmm.
So there are going to be teams who are looking at Dak that may carry some salary cap space over, give Dak a very large number the first year or the first 2 years, and then taper it down from there, which would make it a contract that that Dallas could not match. I think if Dak makes it to the end of this year, Dak won't be back. Whether Dak wants to come back or not, everything has showed me that Dak wants the money more than being a Cowboy.
Yeah.
And you see some of the things that his family has said, his brother and things. They don't really want him in Dallas either. I think if things don't get taken care of within soon, then this is the end of the Dak Prescott era, as far as what I'm seeing. And I don't have any inside information. This is my speculation, but I think that we're coming to that end.
Mm-hmm. I think that as well.
So
yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our Keeping the Faith feel-good stories. So make sure you guys stick around, and we'll be back in a minute.